Hello students, welcome back to my class. We are in a continued lesson of fractions and decimals for class 7. This is your fourth session. In this session, we are going to learn what are decimals, understanding 10th, 100th and 1000th place values, addition and subtraction of decimal numbers and also multiplication of decimal numbers. Here, Harsha and Prithvi are having pencils with them. They are fighting with each other that I have got bigger one than you. These two are almost same in their lengths. So what would you do by this time? You are using scale, no? Yes. Let's measure it exactly. So these are the measurements we got. 10.3 centimeter and 10.8 centimeter. Now it is easy to you. Now you tell me whose pencil is bigger one? Yes, certainly Prithvi has got bigger pencil than Harsha by 0.5 centimeter. So what is this 0.5 here? Yes, it is a decimal number which you have learnt in your previous classes. 0.5 means 5 by 10. So we can see a relationship between fractions and decimals. Now onwards, we will understand decimal places. Looking at the given figure, can you tell me the number of oranges here? Yes, here 2 full oranges and half orange is there. So we have a total of 2.5 oranges which can be written as 5 by 2. If we multiply both the numerator 5 and denominator 2 by 5, we will get this fraction whose denominator is 10. So it can be written as 2.5 and it is a decimal number. If the denominator of a fraction is numbers like 10, 100, 1000, then we can express it in its decimal form. Then how to write a decimal number? Here we have 2 full oranges. So we can take 2 as whole number. So we have to write this on the left of the decimal point. And part of the whole is represented on the right of the decimal point. So the number represented with the decimal point is called a decimal number. Did you understand, children? Look at the circle, it is shaded by blue. Can you say the shaded part in fraction? Yes, correct, it is 1 by 4. As we know the division, with the help of that 1 by 4 can be further simplified like this. 1 is divided by 4. So here 1 is smaller than 4. So we can't divide it. If you want to divide this, we have to put a decimal point here so that 1 becomes 10. So 2 times of 4 is 8. By subtracting these two, we get 2. We can take 0 again. It becomes 20. So 5 times of 4 is 20. By subtracting these two, we get 0 as remainder. Ultimately, we got 0.25 in quotient. So 1 by 4 can also be written like 0.25. In the next circle, here it is also shaded by blue. How can we express it in decimal form? Try to write it in your book. Yes, if you have written 1 by 2 in fraction, that's correct. So it can be further simplified like this. So 1 by 2 means 0.5. Here the circle is also shaded by blue. Can you tell me the number of parts shaded here? Yes, it is 3 by 4. That means 3 parts are shaded out of 4. So how to write it in decimal form? This you have learnt already. Yes, it is 0.75. From this we have understood how to convert fraction into decimal form. From this you can understand decimal numbers with its meaning with some pictures. Here a rectangular box is divided into 10 equal parts and one part is shaded. So you have learnt already how to write it in fraction, right? Yes, we can write it as 1 by 10. It is nothing but 0.1. Here we have 1 in the numerator, so we have to write after the decimal point in 10th place. We will see the next one. Here 2 parts are shaded out of 10 boxes. So we have to write it as 2 by 10. It can be written as 0.2. Please observe here, here 2 is in numerator. So, we have to write this 2 after the decimal point in 10th place. We will see the next one. Here 4 boxes are shaded out of 10. So, how to write it in fraction? Yes, it is 4 by 10. So, it can be written as 0.4 because we have 4 in the numerator. So, we have to write it after the decimal point in 10th place. If it is 5, then it could be, yes, 5 by 10. Then what would be the decimal form? Yes, it is 0.5. We will see the next example. Here 9 parts are shaded out of 10. So, what would be the decimal form? Yes, I know you have already written 9 by 10. Then you should write the decimal form of it. Yes, correct. It is 0.9. Finally, see in this case, all the 10 boxes are shaded. So, we can write it as 10 by 10, that is 10 ones are 10. So, we got the answer 1. It is a whole number. If you observe closely, from this you have understood the relationship between fraction and decimal. We will move on to the next one. Let us do some more problems for better understanding of writing decimal numbers. Here I have taken one example, 50 plus 2 plus 1 by 10 is equal to 52.1. Here 50 and 2 are whole numbers. By adding these two, we get 52, and 1 by 10 is a fraction. So, you have to convert this fraction into decimal form. As we did before, you know that how to convert 1 by 10 into decimal form. It is 0.1. So, by adding all this, we get 52.1 as decimal number. Now, we will write this decimal number in place value chart. Children, please pay your attention on place values. What we have here? Tens, ones and tenths. So, 52.1 we have to write in this table. Here we have 5 in tens place. So, I have written below the tens place, and 2 in unit place. So, I have written below the ones place, and in tenth place we have 1, 0.1, that means 1 by 10. So, I have written below the 10th place. Like the same, we will do the next example. 70 plus 5 plus 3 by 10 is equal to 75.3. So, how to place it? So, here 70 and 5 are whole numbers and 3 by 10 is a fraction. So, first you have to add the whole numbers, that is 75 and 3 by 10 into decimal form, that is nothing but 0.3. So, by adding all this we get 75.3. Now, we will place this decimal form in the place value chart. Here we have 7 in tens place. So, I have written below the tens place, and 5 is in unit place. So, I have written below the ones place, and 3 is in tenth place. So, I have written under tens place. You have understood the way I have done in these two examples. So, follow the same in the third example. Here on the screen you are seeing a square. Are you finding smaller boxes in that? Yes? Can you count how many boxes are there in it? Yes, I have divided this into 10 by 10. So, in total we have 100 smaller boxes in that. I have shaded some boxes there. So, count how many boxes I have shaded here? Yes, 15 boxes are shaded out of 100. So, how to write it in fraction? Yes, we can write it as 15 by 100 because we have shaded 15 parts out of 100 parts. If it is further simplified, we get this decimal number, that is 0.15. So, 15 by 100 can also be written as 0.15. Here we have 1 in tens place. So, we have to write it in tenth place after the decimal point. We have 5 in unit place. So, we have to write in 100th place after the decimal point. Like this, we will take up some more examples to practice. Here 25 by 100. Assume that 25 parts are shaded out of 100. So, how to write it in decimal form? Yes, it is 0.25 because we have 2 in tens place. So, we have to write it after the decimal point in 10th place, and we have 5 in unit place. So, we have to write it in 100th place after the decimal point. Understood? We will take one more example. Here only one digit is there, 6 by 100. So, how to write it? Yes, it is 0.06. We have only one digit, that is in unit place. So, we have to write it in 100th place. Here 92 by 100 is there. How to simplify this? Yes, it is 0.92. We will see the next example. It is 100 by 100, means all the 100 parts are shaded out of 100. So, 100 ones are 100. That means we got 1 as the answer, and it is a whole number. From this we can understand how to write decimal forms in 100th place. Here one example is there, 50 plus 2 plus 0 by 10 plus 1 by 100 is equal to 52.01. Here 50 and 2 are whole numbers. So, by adding these two we get 52. We have to write it on the left of the decimal point, and 0 by 10 is in 10th place. Here 0 is there. So, we have written 0 after the decimal point in 10th place, and in 100th place 1 is there. So, I have to write 1 in 100th place after the decimal point. We will take up one more example. Here 50 plus 5 plus 3 by 10 plus 5 by 100 is equal to 55.35. Here 50 and 5 are whole numbers. So, where we have to write it? Before the decimal point. Yes. Then 3 by 10 is a fraction. After converting this into decimal point, we get 0.3. So, we have to write it in 10th place, plus 5 by 100. So, it has to come in 100th place. So, by adding all these, we get 55.35. Now, we will place this in place value chart. 52.1 can be written as like this. Here 5 is in tens place. So, we have to write in tens place, and 2 is in unit place. So, we have to write below the ones place, and after the decimal point we have to place the decimal numbers. So, 0 is there in 10th place. So, we have to write 0 below the 10th place, and 1 is in 100th place. So, we have to write below the 100th place. In the second example, 55.35 is there. So, we have to write 5 in the tens place and another 5 in ones place, and after the decimal point 3 in 10th place and 5 in 100th place. Did you understand, children? I hope you have understood the decimal numbers, how to write it in expanded form, and how to place it in place value chart. We did 3 examples. Yes, you are thinking why I have left this one 43.27, I left it for you. You have to write in expanded form. Now, it is time to understand 1000th place. Here one example is there, 50 plus 2 plus 0 by 10 plus 0 by 100 plus 1 by 1000. You already know 50 and 2 are whole numbers. So, by adding these two we get 52, and we have to write before the decimal point. So, 0 by 10 is in 10th place, 0 is there in 10th place and another 0 is there in 100th place. So, we have to write 2 zeros on 10th and 100th place, and 1 is there in 1000th place. We have to write 1 in 1000th place. By adding all this we get 52.001. Now, we have 55.035. So, you have to write it in expanded form. Here 55 is whole number. You can write like this also, 50 plus 5, we have 0 in 10th place. So, we have to write 0 by 10, and in 100th place we have 3. So, we have to write 3 by 100 plus in 1000th place we have 5. So, we have to write 5 by 1000. So, by adding all this we get 55.035. Here is a chart on the screen. Observe it and try to write it in decimal form as we practiced before. Here we have 5 in hundreds place and 1 in tens place and 2 in unit place. So, we have to write it as 512. So, here we have decimal numbers after the decimal point. So, 0 in 10th place. So, we have written after the decimal point, and 1 in 100th place. So, it is written in 100th place, and 3 in the 1000th place. So, we have to write in the 1000th place. So, the number is 512.013. Do one thing, you also say along with me so that you can practice how to read the decimal numbers. Second one is 975.354. Here 9 is in hundreds place and 7 is in tens place and 5 is in unit place. After the decimal point, we have 3 in tenth place and 5 in hundredth place and also 4 in thousandth place. So, we have to read like this 975.354. We will see the next one. How to read it? 362.862. We will see the next one. It is 483.276. Now, you have understood what is 1 by 10th, 1 by 100th and 1 by 1000th. So, we will check it by answering this one. Here we have two numbers 18.75 and 15.50. Can you tell me which one is greater among these two? To decide which one is greater, first we have to compare the whole numbers. Here 18 and 15 are the whole numbers we have. So, which one is greater? Obviously 18 is greater than 15. So, 18.75 is greater than 15.50. We will see the next one. Here 20.1 and 20.01 is there. So, you have to compare and write which one is greater. So, what I told you, to observe the whole numbers. So, first we have to compare the whole numbers. But here 20 is common in both the cases. So, what we have to do? So, we have to compare the numbers in 10th place. So, here we have 1 in 10th place and 0 in 10th place in this number. So, which one is greater? Obviously 20.1 is greater than 20.01, right? We will see the next one. Here 35.63 and 35.67 is there. You just compare these two and tell me which one is greater. First we have to compare the whole numbers, but here both are same, and then we have to compare the 10th place. So, that also same in these cases, and then we have to compare the digits in 10th place, but here 6 is the common in both the cases. So, what we have to do? Then we have to compare the numbers on 100th place. So, we have 3 in this number and 7 in this number. So, which one is greater? Yes, obviously 35.67 is greater than 35.63. We will see the next one. Now, you have to express the following in decimals. First one, we have to express this 50 paise in decimals. As you know already, 1 rupee has 100 paisa in it, right? So, 50 paise can be written as 50 by 100. So, it can be further simplified like this 0.50. So, 50 by 100 is equal to 0.50 rupees. We will see the next one. Here 7 rupees 50 paise is there. Here 7 is whole number. So, we can write it as like 7 plus, we can write 50 paise as 50 by 100. So, 7 plus 50 by 100 is equal to 7.50 rupees. We will see one more example. 5 centimeter in meter you have to express. So, you already know, for this you have to remember the conversion table of centimeter, meter and kilometer. So, 1 meter consists of how many meters? Yes, 100 meters. So, we can write 5 centimeter in meter as 5 by 100. That is nothing but 0.05 meter. We will see the next one. You have to express 5 meter in kilometer. So, how to write it? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, as we know already. So, we can write it as 5 by 1000 is nothing but 0.005, because we have 5 in the unit place. So, we have to write in the 1000 place. That is nothing but 0.005 kilometer. Next one, 4 kg 8 gram. Here 4 kg is a whole number. So, we will keep it as it is. 4 plus 8 gram can be written as 8 by 1000. So, by adding these two, we get 4.008 kilograms. We will see the next one. Now, we will go to addition of decimal numbers. Let us take an example. 22.57 plus 37.35. Now, we will add these two. You know addition already. Here we are adding not only whole numbers but also decimal numbers. So, while writing the decimal numbers, you have to keep it in mind that you have to write the numbers one below the other with respect to the decimal point. So, 22.57 plus 37.35 is equal to 7 plus 5 is 12. So, 1 is carry forwarded. So, 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 1 carry is 9. So, here 2 plus 7 is 9 and 2 plus 3 is 5. So, the answer is 59.92. We will see the next example. 35.8 plus 40.025. These two are unlike decimals. So, before addition we have to make it like decimal by adding 2 more zeros after 8. It will never changes the value. So, 35.800 plus 40.025 we get 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 plus 2 is 2, 8 plus 0 is 8 and 5 plus 0 we get 5. So, the answer is 75.825. Now, we will understand how to subtract decimal numbers with one example. 6.97 minus 2.36. So, 7 minus 6 is 1, 9 minus 3 is 6 and 6 minus 2 is 4. So, finally, we got 4.61. Now, we will learn how to multiply decimal number by a whole number. For easy understanding, I have taken one delicious example here. Here 3 glasses are there. We have to serve 0.2 liters of juice in each glass. So, what amount of juice can be filled in 3 glasses? Yeah, it is very simple. Adding 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, you will get the answer. So, it could be 0.6 liters, isn't it? You know already that multiplication is the simplest form of addition. So, now we will try in that way. 3 into 0.2, that means 3 times of 0.2. See here, 3 times of 0.2. To multiply this, we have to first convert the decimal into fraction. That is nothing but 2 by 10. So, it could be written as 3 into 2 by 10. Watch this picture. Here a box is divided into 10 equal parts. You already know 2 by 10 means 2 parts are taken out of 10. So, I have shaded 2 parts out of 10 parts. But here we have 3 times of 2 by 10. So, I have to repeat the same 3 times. So, 2 by 10, 2 by 10 and 2 by 10. So, totally we got 6 parts shaded out of 10. So, we can write it as 6 by 10. It can also be simplified like this. For this, you should recall the multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. We have to multiply the numerator and the whole number. So, by multiplying these two, 3 into 2, we got the same answer, 6 by 10. So, we can write it in decimal form like this, 0.6. That means a total of 0.6 liters of juice can be filled in 3 glasses. In the same manner, you try with this. So, by multiplying 4 into 0.2, here first we have to convert the decimal point into fraction. That is nothing but 2 by 10, then 4 into 2 is 8 and the denominator remains the same. So, we got 8 by 10. 4 into 2 by 10 is nothing but 8 by 10. It can be written as 0.8 in decimal form. There is one more interesting method. In this method, we will ignore the decimal point and multiply them the same way we multiply the whole numbers. After finding the answer, we will count the number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers to be multiplied. Since 4 is a whole number, there will be no digit after the decimal point. In point 2, there is one digit after the decimal point. That means there is only one digit after the decimal point in both the numbers. So, in the result, we will place the decimal point by counting one digit from the right side. Since there is only one digit here, we will place decimal point before this. Since there is no whole number before the decimal point, we will place 0 before it. So, we get the value 0.8. So, we will take some more examples for better understanding. First example, 10 into 1.76. So, how to multiply this? We will see here. We can write in this way also, both are same. Here you have to ignore the decimal point and multiply as usual. So, 176 into 10, by multiplying this we get 1760. Now, count the number of digits present after the decimal point in both the numbers. So, we have 2 digits after the decimal point. So, we have to place after the 2 digits from the right in the result. So, it is 17.60. It can also be written as 17.6. We can conclude this. So, we say when a decimal number is multiplied by 10, 100 or 1000, the digits in the product are same as in the decimal number, but the decimal point in the product is shifted to the right by as many of places as there are zeros over 1. We will see some examples for this. Here 3.2348 into 10. You know already how to multiply these numbers. So, we will get 32.348. Second one, the same number is multiplied by 100. So, we will get 323.48. In the third one also, the same number is multiplied by 1000. So, we get 3234.8. Now, we will multiply 3 digits with a decimal number. Here, Prithvi stuck in a problem. What is that problem? She bought 150 chocolates of 8.5 rupees each. So, she stuck in a problem while giving money to the shopkeeper. Now, can you help Prithvi to find the total amount that she has to pay? For this, first we have to write the given data, that is 8.50 into 150. As we did in the previous problem, you follow the same steps. First, we have to ignore the decimal point and multiply. In the first row, by multiplying 0, we get zeros only. So, in the second row, by multiplying 5, we get 4250. And in the third row, by multiplying with 1, we get 850. By adding all these, we get 1275 rupees. So, Prithvi has to pay 1275 rupees to the shopkeeper, right. Now, we will understand how to multiply decimal number by a decimal number. We will take one example, 10.05 into 1.05. In this example also, you have to ignore the decimal point and multiply as usual. So, by multiplying with 5, in the first row we got 5025. In the second row, by multiplying with 0, we get zeros only. In the third row, by multiplying with 1, we get 1005. By adding all these, we get 1,05,525. So, where you have to place the decimal point? Yes, first you have to count the number of digits after the decimal point. So, here we have 2 digits and here also we have 2 digits. So, we have to place after 4 digits from the right. Yes, it is 10.5525. We will practice with one more example. 6.97 into 2.36. In this example also, first you have to ignore the decimal point and multiply as usual. So, by multiplying by 6, we get 4182 in the first row, and in the second row multiplying with 3, we get 2091, and in the third row by multiplying with 2, we get 1394. By adding all this, we get 1,64,492. So, where we have to place the decimal point? Yes, after 4 digits from the right. I hope you have understood this very well. Before leaving this session, I will give you some home assignment. Do it yourself at home. I hope you all understood the concept very clearly. So, before leaving this session, I will give you some home assignments. You have to do it yourself at home. First one, 0.05 into 6. Second one, 153.7 into 10, 101.07 into 0.01, and the last one, 234.5 plus 4.01 plus 30.34. So, now it is time to say bye to you all. See you in the next class. Till that, stay safe, stay home, learn more. Thank you. By Sunita P, TGT, Maths teacher, GMPS Jaraganahalli, Bangalore, South 3.